Welcome back to Brand Champions. I'm Howard Wolpoff, your host. Again, we're brought to you by Teal, the agency. And today we have two great guests to help us talk about branding. We have Jeanel Carlson from OakBloom Marketing and Wesley Gehman from Wes Web. And thank you both for joining us today.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you for having us.
So branding obviously is very important for a company to say who they are, what they do, really make a statement for different people to get an impression on them, hopefully spend money with them. Jeanel, what kind of conversations are you having with clients as they're first coming into you, whether this is a new company or someone looking for a rebrand?
Yes. So when we work with clients, a lot of times they come to us because they're feeling stuck with their business. They've hit a certain level and they're really not able to kind of get to the next level. And what we do is we like to start with their personal brand and the impact of their personal story on their company brand. Kind of that intersection is a sweet spot for telling their story. So not everybody wants to do that because you have to put yourself out there, but you can see that there's a lot of strength in having that strong foundation of a personal brand.
I think more so now because of some of the uses of social media, people are telling a lot more stories. People are getting themselves out there as the name and face of either the company or their own personal brand. So I see how that can be a big strength. What kind of conversation, looking at the opposite way, we have someone who really is very strong and adamant about their brand, but knowing that something's not working, how do you walk them through uh, slowly getting away from the mindset they have of that image to create one that really speaks to the avatar and the target audience that they're looking for?
That is the key is like who is their target audience. I mean, we really do a deep dive into the audience and what their pain is. And it's marketing 101. If you don't
Mm-hmm.
know who you're speaking to, you don't have a story to tell. So even the personal brand, we overlay their why and uniqueness with the audience, because if their why doesn't resonate with the audience, it doesn't matter. And the same thing for the company brand. If they're speaking in a way that's not meaningful, and the client feels like they they're understood and their pain will be solved, they're going to kind of miss the mark. So companies that kind of talk about features, benefits, things like that, it doesn't relate. And so we try to go deep into the audience.
And that makes a whole lot of sense. Now, Wesley, you coming into with the more of the visual pieces to it, with the website, with those elements. How important is it to be consistent with your brand when you're telling the story within the website and not just a purchasing page, but really that homepage, that about section, really getting people getting to know who you are within the website?
Yeah, good question. I would say a lot of it ties in with really what's written on the website and what is being communicated. So, kind of mirroring what Jeanel said and focusing on the customer. And when the customer, I'll ask, so what kind of customers are you getting? Which ones do you love? Which ones are you not a fan of? Why aren't you a fan of them? And then we kind of figure out what's written on the website that's attracting the bad customers. Because if it reflects their brand, but it's not getting the right customer, then it probably shouldn't be part of their brand. And really narrowing it down on, yeah, this is great that you get those leads, but if it's not who you want, then it shouldn't be part of your brand at all and cut it out.
It makes a whole lot of sense. Now, with making those changes, how easy or difficult is it now to get the right type of prospects finding the website and interacting with it?
For me, on the search engine optimization side, it's pretty quick in the sense of we put the content out there, we start building it. This is after doing a bit of research and discussing with the client, getting their approvals on, yes, this is who we want, this is who we want. But then a couple months later, after they start getting more leads, and it's like, are these the leads you want or are they not the leads you want? And really diving into differentiating the good ones versus the bad ones. And sometimes you have to have the customer determine your brand a little bit, Because if you are fully just full force, this is who I am, I'm going for it, but it's attracting customers you don't like, then that's when you have to compromise a little bit and be like, all right, I may be all about being a business coach for this type of industry, but it seems like this type of industry is not interested in what I'm interested in. So you have to make that balancing act between the two.
It's an important point you make here because yes, the goal really is for the company to generate revenues. So finding the right ways to generate those revenues is very important. And if you are bringing in a whole different type of person to the website, to the brand, maybe it does take a tweaking or not full rebranding, but definitely a redirecting of the brand to make that statement clear. Jeanel, when you working with clients, how often are you finding this as a situation, and how are you able to pivot with them?
I believe marketing in general and messaging is an ongoing process that you really have to get into your audience, test it with your audience, see what's resonating, and make adjustments. So a lot of people want to check the box, one and done, but it's fluid and evolving. And that's what we try to do, is make sure that we're testing those messages, getting the feedback, and then iterating. And as the company grows, their messaging will have to grow with them.
Yes, I'm always a fan of finding a website that was built 10 years ago and says a lot of different things that may not be the case right now, but definitely not as clear and not with the flow that a website that people are trying to really interact with should be doing. Does that make you smile, Wesley, when you see someone with a very old website knowing what you can do and transform it into a business generating machine?
Yeah, it definitely gets me excited because I know the moment we make those changes, the moment we update it and get that content on there, we'll start driving leads to them and they'll be like, oh, this is what we should have been doing a while ago.
And it's great when it actually works on the phone as well. That is magic. It's you get a lot of different types of business owners, those that really are understanding where technology is now, and those that's made an investment and don't look at it in anything, just that's the investment and it's there. But it's great when you have people like the both of you really working with them to find the best way that they can be strong, that they can really get a message out and really have a strong brand. So I thank you both for joining us and sharing your what activities you do to help make these brands strong.
Thank you so much. Our pleasure.
And thank you all for joining us as well. It really takes a village to build a brand. It really takes the right mindset, the right people looking at it from different angles, doing the research, helping to tweak when you're finding different things out along the way. This will help your business grow and your revenues grow with it as well. So keep that all in mind. Go out, have a great rest of today, and we will see you next time.